Hey, welcome back to another midweek oracle reading. So let's just jump right in and see what Spirit would like to tell us today. Let's see. Start with these ones. All right, Spirit, what would you like to tell the collective today? Ooh. 2 cards instantly popped. We've got stepping stones. Take the next step. Simplicity, focus, and dancing with the stones. 2 stone cards with movement, teamwork, and partnership. Okay, what else? Thinking these ones. What would you like to tell the collective spirit? You've got 4 of them. So there is. Here, I can move this down. Okay, we've got herbal potion. Create and heal. Your magic is potent. That's cool. Fairy Queen's crown. In the readings lately, there's been so many piles that have gotten this, and honestly, I think the last week's midweek oracle got this as well. So that's interesting. Embrace your sovereignty and let your heart rule with love. I guess a lot about sovereignty maybe for the collective. And then eternal knot. You are interconnected. Strengthen bonds with those around you. And Woodland Guardian. Protect what you hold dear. Honor the earth and its gifts. Okay, let's do... Oh, hold on. There's a little bug. Okay, I'm back. I had to let a little bug outside because he fell on his back. Okay, where were we? So let's check out these cards. What would you like to tell the collective spirit? Whoa. There's 1. Cool, rebirth. Okay, let's just do a couple more from Mystic. Perfect, okay. 2 came out. Hey, cool, wow. Okay, luck and friendship. Very good. There's a lot here about others, you know, teamwork, partnership, being interconnected, friendship. And so it almost feels like you're coming out of a period maybe where you're a bit more isolated than normal, and coming into a period where you're going to be around more people. When I see this stepping stones, you know, simplicity, take the next step. And, you know, it also has focus on here, and this talks about protecting what you hold dear. It really gives me this feeling of you've been focused in on a particular goal that maybe has taken you out of a more social environment, kind of kept you maybe a bit more isolated as you worked on what you were building. And it feels like with this fairy crown card, fairy queen's crown, that it's like you have brought yourself to a place in what you're building, to where you can kind of take a step back and kind of embrace it as being more complete in as far as this isolated work is concerned. Maybe now it's ready to be shared with others. Your magic is potent. And, you know, there's this standing in the middle, this rebirth card. You know, you're coming out of a type of experience where it left you a bit more isolated and maybe a bit more alone as you worked on this thing. And it could, you know, I mean, I don't know, it could be you were healing something as well. But you've kept your focus, and it's just about, you know, keeping that what you've focused on, what you've worked toward, protected as you step into this new experience where you're going to be around people more, and you're going to be able to share what you've created more. And, you know, with the friendship and the luck, you know, I feel like if you've had maybe not very, very favorable experiences dealing with others this time around, especially where this thing that you've been working on is concerned, you're going to have a lot of luck with it. There's going to be a lot of favor. There's going to be a lot of people really like in agreement with it, and seeing your vision, agreeing, kind of aligning with your vision, and wanting to work with you on it. And I think that's why this Embrace Your Sovereignty is there, because you really have put in a lot of work and really have built something pretty powerful. your magic is potent, and it's potent because that work that you put in, that focus, just taking one step at a time, has really built something strong that you can stand on and not be worried about whether or not it's going to crumble underneath you. And this rebirth card here is just really kind of emphasizing that you're coming out of this state that you've been living in and being reborn into a whole new environment and experience with a lot more people who are actually going to be, on your side, in agreement with you. I kind of feel like let's read what this talks about from the guidebook. This is the Wild Mystic Oracle. Oh, look, it's on. Hell yeah. All right, let's check it out. If you want to take a screenshot, I'm going to read it. Well, actually, I suppose I could read it like this. It's a little hard, but we'll see. So this card represents the cycle of rebirth and eternity. Let's see. The snake signifies a natural rebirth of the whole self. Yeah. As the snake sheds and emerges clean and new from the sheath of dead skin, it reminds us of the constant cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Yeah. We shed our skin and hair daily, and the remnants of our bodily self become dust on the air, in the earth, in the water. And this card asks us to consider our place in the grand cycle of things and reminds us that change is a natural part of life. For sure. And that's kind of like what's happening here, because like, it's natural. We go through these cycles, and really maybe what is needed is the encouragement that yes, you are going to start experiencing change, and it's really, Spirit's really encouraging, this idea of embrace it. Let that change happen. Maybe you've gotten used to being isolated and kind of just doing your thing and putting your focus in on this thing that, is really important to you. And that's going to change because nothing stays the same forever, Everything must change. There always has to be that cycle, and we look at it as a spiral. That as you're working toward lifting yourself up and growing and healing, it spirals up and up and up. But it's still a cycle. It's still going around, and so nothing is going to stay the same. And I think that what's encouraging here is that as you are going to go through this shift and change, you are going to have a lot of luck and favor with how this new thing that you step into presents itself. It's going to be different from maybe other cycles that you've gone through with people, having to be around people and experiencing that. It's going to be different from that. There's going to be more favor. There's going to be luck and friendship this time. Friendship where people understand your vision and want to join in with you. And like even with this Dancing with the Stones card, it talks about dancing. It's kind of like this idea of it's going to be lighthearted and free, and maybe there's going to be a sense of ease with it, ease in interacting with others and creating along with them that maybe you've never experienced before. It really feels like this is going to be a very favorable time for you. And, that could be with a very big life change, or it could just be something really small that, shifts in your life that makes, the interactions that you've, been having, be smoother for some reason. Like there's more favor, there's more luck, and there's more creativity with others coming up next. You're going to start to be on the same page and be able to collaborate with each other in a smoother and more of a way where there's understanding. There's a sense of like deep bonds where we see with this card the way that it's sort of like knotted together, deep bonds where it's like a real deep sense of family and comfort and home. And maybe that's something that you've really been lacking lately, is just that sense of comfort and hominess, especially maybe with others. And that's what's going to start coming in for you, And even if it's on a small scale, you're going to notice, oh, wow, being around these people is just so lighter and happier. And so regardless of how big or small this experience is going to be for you in your particular situation, you can expect that your life is going to start to take a shift. You're going to start to feel reborn in the sense of more interactions, more connection with others, and having it be a warm, comforting feeling, like family with the people that you come in contact with or that you're already around. And I think that it's really going to be encouraging for you, especially with what you've been working on, being able to work together with others on it is really going to inspire you. It's really going to help you feel like, yes, I can finally take this that I've been really focusing hard on and taking step by step to create to the next level, because now all of these people are sharing my vision and helping to co-create it with me. And that's going to be a really huge rebirth, a really huge blessing for you, that I think is really going to make you, it's going to shift the way that you've been feeling and the way that you have been looking at life. It's going to really lighten you up. Make you feel inspired and joyful like never before. And that doesn't mean that like what you've been going through has been miserable. You've probably been enjoying it as well. But what's coming in next for you is going to be a welcome blessing. That even if you're not expecting it, or even if you end up being greatly surprised at the kind of change that occurs, it's going to be a welcome surprise. So look forward to new connections, better connections, and collaboration with others on this thing that you've been so focused on. It's going to be a really favorable time for you. So thank you so much for joining me today for my midweek oracle reading just for you. I hope that this encourages you and makes you feel excited about what is to come. And I will see you next time.